Well, Miami may be the destination, but it's the Homestead Miami Speedway Circuit, most commonly the home of NASCAR. That is the first venue of what feels like the start of something very, very special in triathlon.
Sitting in third place at this point in time, and look at that perfect form. Absolutely, we've got our 4 models, we've got our 4 athletes out there at this point in time. Memphis Dealer, that's right, all 6'6" of it is sitting right in there at the orange cap in 5th position. Right behind there we have Jason West having a great swim, and at this point in time, this is going to be fantastic. If Jason can keep that.
And they're in the water. And once again, we'll be able to pick out a few athletes based on
chance of starting. We heard this morning, and some other athletes sort of said maybe more likely that she's not going to start. So really good to see her giving a crack. End of the swim to ready themselves for the bike, but yeah, that slow kick. Well, we're going to throw right to Jack now.
So Lucy Charles-Barclay has just exited ahead of Lucy Buckingham. They were swimming hard. You could tell it when you were looking at them really close. They were swimming very hard. This gap has grown. Sarah Perez-Sella is just about to get to the Aussie exit as well. And the chase group with Skye Munch and Holly Lawrence and India Lee, and they've almost caught her. Paula Finlay is still on the back of that group too. So here we have...
yeah, to see her leading the second pack that strongly, I think is...
I'll put that down to Coach Julie Dibbins. She started swimming with Julie, and there's a very good swim group. When you're in a really nice swim group, Jan, it really helps, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, swimming is one of those sports. It can be lonely. Let's be honest, depending if you're swimming in a 25 or a 50-meter pool.
Straight on to chasing the 2 Lucys, and perfect situation for someone like India Lee, who's a really strong runner as well as being a great cyclist. So, I mean, probably a position that's a little ahead of where a lot of people would have expected to see her and Paula Finlay, playing out perfectly for those 2 as well.
Jack, you teased it a little bit there. It was...
And let's see how much strength Lucy Buckingham is going to have, because it looks like Lucy Charles-Barclay is putting the hammer down early. It looks like she's going to have to do most of the work by herself. You can see in her face she's intent, she's focused, she's wanting to get out the front. She hasn't even bothered rolling down her sleeves yet. As you can see, she's got them slightly rolled up, which is advantageous for the swim, just to give your shoulders a little bit more breathing room. But you want that fabric from the aerodynamic suit down as close to your elbows as possible, simply because that's where you get the aerodynamic advantages.
That could come into play. That could be a part of the storyline here, is maybe Emma Pallant-Brown, this could be the temperature that she needs to have success, ranging from a minute 11 to a minute 17 for the top 10 athletes. Again, thanks to Garmin for helping us with T1. The line, your husband can go and have a beer, then that's a great option.
Yeah, Mark Matthews renowned for having a few beers during the race, keeping it light. But Kat Matthews now taking the lead of that trio. Paula Finlay in the second spot in that.
She just wants to go to her limits, sometimes beyond. And that's why she deserves to be here. Back to your point, Jack, she just, yeah, in my opinion, she thoroughly deserves a spot. And she's a light in the scene of triathlon.
I think she's someone who impacts the sport, and I think that's what we're looking for.
That, what did I call it? Smile?
Cat Matt.
It's a suffering kind of smile, but you can see she's enjoying, because she knows every time it hurts her, it's hurting the others more, which is, of course, a quote from the great Sebastian Kienle. If it hurts me, it's killing them. And it feels like Kat Matthews is here and actually enjoying herself.
Yeah,
that's the spirit. That's what we like to see.
The volunteers that run with the athletes, we praise you, because that helps so much. Like, even just jogging alongside rather than the straight arm. The straight arm, you see that and you're like, that's a broken arm waiting to happen, you know, like, and, you know, me, going over the handlebars. So, yeah.
The final 2 laps of the bike, which is inside of 8.5 kilometers, and out in front, it's Lucy Charles-Barclay. Out of the race after having a really phenomenal start, Lucy Buckingham, after food poisoning over the past couple days, she said her legs just couldn't go anymore.
It almost is a bit funny in a way. Like, it is like, apart from Jan at his German race, I've never seen this in triathlon before.
Trust me, no one ever saw that race either. It was a long way away from civilization.
Probably a momentary pause to make sure.
Front stretch again, and so we can definitely see quite a bit better here.
And seeing that Paula Finlay has actually decided to stay at the back, she didn't come around Holly Lawrence to get onto Kat Matthews and Lucy Byram just in case Holly Lawrence couldn't stay on. She has decided to, maintain her position at the back of this group and conserve and not ride aggressively like Rinny said we're used to seeing her do.
You mentioned these two, Lucy Charles Barclay and India Lee. That gap still about 4 seconds between the top two, and then back to Kat Matthews.
Back up to Lucy Charles Barclay, and I don't know if she'll go past. It'll be interesting to see. I think she'll probably roll up to Lucy Charles Barclay and then just, sit at half a lap now. So it's time to start thinking about the run and,
I can definitely tell, like from this kind, like from experience, this kind of position where Indy's in, it's hard because you're trying to close the gap and you're trying to get aerodynamic. You're trying to be as efficient as possible.
Said earlier, Kat Matthews' partner, Indy, has been running very well in training, and it's just a matter of whether she can finally put a good run leg together in a long course race. Lucy is looking great so far.
She's flying right here, and I think she is definitely on this dog leg. She can see, they came into transition together, but this is already a significant gap. And Paula Finlay did not look like $1 million to me, running out of transition 2 right there.
What we saw with Lucy Charles Barclay, when she left T2, she left it like she was the experienced athlete who wanted to take the race by the scruff of the...
Trends towards that direction.
Kat Matthews.
Kat Matthews. It looks like she's cramping up, and she had to stop.
Oh, come on. Yeah, that's...
The left calf.
When it's so humid like this, you're just losing so much salt.
Oh, you could see. Yeah, she's
like, I can't run. Like...
Paula camaraderie is just next level, but she's tough. Kat Matthews, obviously being part of the British Army, she has definitely gone through some toughness, but she looks stressed. She actually looks stressed, and of course, she's got huge targets. She's got the T100 series. She also wants to do the competing Ironman series, and she wants to race Ironman World Champs. So, she doesn't want to do damage right here. If I were in her shoes, I'd probably take that chip off that leg. That's an easy gap. That's 1 second per kilometer. And any misstep, this can close in an instant.
And she got 10 seconds of that in the first kilometer as well.
On the left side of your screen there, the Garmin transition times for T2, very quick, ranging from 34 seconds up to 46 seconds, but a quick transition there from bike to running.
Lucy Charles Barclay is a bit of an exception to that rule. We know she had a famous run battle with Annie Haug in Kona, where Annie Haug's known by everyone as the best runner in the sport. Annie Haug came up to her, and then Lucy Charles, everyone expected her to fall away. She actually ended up pulling back and getting away from Annie Haug. So we know that Lucy Charles Barclay has a history of when someone runs up to her, it actually makes her dig deeper and fight hard for her.
Fingers crossed she continues to have a good race. Thank you so much for chatting to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, guys, back to you, because I can see lots happening at the front.
Definitely a lot happening. And right now, a new leader for the women as India Lee has gone by Lucy Charles Barclay. Let's see if Lucy will tack on to the back here of India Lee and what she has left.
Wow. Did you see the aggression she put into that? I mean, her whole facial demeanor changed as she came close. She really made sure to try and get a little surge to hopefully not take Lucy with her. And this is the first time we've seen a change at the top of the leaderboard. Looking into the crystal ball.
But Lucy Byram here, only, 20, 30 seconds behind Paula? That's, within striking distance. And if Paula's not careful, Lucy Byram's going to come on by her. But
punching far above her weight. It's the rising of a new star, and I think what a time to do it. Where the evolution of the sport is. What a time to make a breakthrough over a winter and put your mark on the sport. I mean, this is exciting. It most definitely is that way. I mean, it feels like, you know, it's an early stage of the season, but certainly a dominating performance that could show us more for the upcoming races. It most definitely is that way. I mean, it feels like, you know, it's an early stage of the season, but certainly a dominating performance that could show us more for the upcoming races.
To go.
2 laps to go, and the gap we can see has gone out to over half a minute. I mean, that is huge, and now it's like you were saying, Rini, that yeah, unless there's a mishap of some sort, which we certainly don't wish upon anyone.
And again, announce Daniela Reef, this will be her final season, and she's looking forward to running as many of the T100 races as she can. India Lee is looking forward to hearing a bell the next time when she gets to the finish line area. They will ring the bell because it will be one more lap around this track here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Let's finish it off. Drinks are on you tonight.
She was able to take the top spot away from Lucy Charles Barclay on the run. She surged. We thought Lucy would be able to stay with her. She wasn't able to. The gap became over 30 seconds. And India Lee now making the turn.
Look at
she
this.
Can't believe it.
You can't believe it. I love that emotion coming in. She's like,
India Lee looks back. She won't see anyone.
yeah, this is just mind-blowing for her. I think coming in, I'm sure she dreamt of this, and you have to have had some belief that you could do this, but to actually have it happen, and especially, as we said, no one picked India Lee to win.
The 35-year-old Brit makes it onto the carpet. She's given the high fives, and she has just stunned the world. India Lee is going to win the first ever T100, and it starts here at Homestead Miami Speedway. She'll walk across and grab the banner. India Lee wins T100.
Yeah, a lot of emotion there, you can see at the finish line in Miami.
Here comes second in Lucy Charles Barclay. And still a smile on her face as she's thanking the fans for being there.
Yeah, I think Lucy Charles Barclay will be happy with that performance. The second place is nothing to be, you know, ashamed of. As we said, it's a long season, a lot of racing ahead, and she led for a lot of that race and almost pulled off the victory.